All right, welcome back to another podcast. Today, you have the unfortunate situation with my voice, but the fortunate part is that I'm here with Ivan. So, Ivan, welcome back.
Thank you.
And
Thank
this
you, Jay.
time, this time we're doing it in person, right in your gym,
Yeah, this is awesome, having in my gym. The last time we talked, I was just talking about how I'm gonna open the place,
right?
New Year, and wow, it's already been a while, almost 5 months since last time
Yeah.
we
What is it?
spoke
Well,
time.
end of it's April already,
Yeah,
and we
wow,
talked
time
in
flies.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're here, and the place is pretty much running to full capacity, so it's great.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's kind of impressive from my side looking at you is, some people talk the talk. I mean, you say something and then it gets done.
Yeah,
So it's definitely good to see that and use that as an example for oneself, especially for younger teenagers and young adults.
yeah,
Whatever you're gonna say, make sure you do it.
yeah. It's a very important lesson for. I mean, doesn't matter what age you are, to know your words should have some kind of value
Right.
behind it. Can't just like spit out words without backing it up. I mean, it doesn't mean that always things will happen your way, but you should do everything possible to make sure.
Right. Just whatever you say, mean it, and
Yeah,
then and do whatever you
yeah,
can to make it happen.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
So, like today, I wanted to talk to you about kind of two topics. One was I wanted to get into more of exercises, nutrition, kind of like what you
Love it.
do, how you coach.
Yeah.
And then the second part is more about the business, like kind of get into more details of how you started everything. We already talked a little bit about that
Mhm.
before, but how you kind of cast the vision for yourself and what steps did you make to make it happen and what were, ups and downs through that. So we'll kind of get into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Open
But
book.
yeah, so maybe we can get into more of in the beginning about just exercise itself.
Sure.
So, what do you see that people kind of get wrong about exercise?
The main thing that we see in public people is they don't give enough time when it comes to exercise, like to learn. Exercise is a skill.
Mhm.
It takes time, and a lot of times people, just because they're not good at it in the beginning, they give up on it. But in the beginning, like when you, let's say, start riding a bike, everybody falls off the bike. Everybody sucks at riding a bike in the beginning. Most people are, at least. um and the same thing with exercise. You're not gonna be good in the beginning, and a lot of times people get like frustrated, and they give up because they're not good, or they hurt themselves, and they're not willing to invest into a trainer for a month to show them exactly how to exercise, so they have the confidence to go by themselves and train. You know. And the second thing is social media. Social media made things awesome, as in so much information for people, but also too much information where people don't know what is true
Mhm.
and what is false. So people start trying everything, you know, instead of sticking to one program and really giving it a shot.
Mhm.
So that's the main thing I think that I see the problem with.
What would you recommend for people when they're searching for a trainer? Like, what should they watch out for? What should they look for? And what should they kind of stay away from?
First thing in the trainer you want to see is results. What have they done?
Mhm.
What have they achieved? Look at the client's results. The best way to see what you want in a trainer is by just literally talking to the client that had the transformation that you want. Ask them what the approach is, how they do it. You know, is this for me? Also the next thing is, like, when it comes to training, you gotta make sure um, your values are kind of the same. You know, my clients, I'm very outspoken, so some people might not like that. So I might not be the trainer for them, because it's going to be like a relationship.
Mhm.
You know, so if you can't have a good relationship with a person, it's gonna be hard to spend 3 hours, 4 hours a week with them. You know.
Yeah, so finding the right fit,
Yeah.
not only the trainer showing or proving results through their previous customers, but
Yeah.
also is there a connection between the trainer and
Yeah.
you?
Like, personality is such a massive thing when it comes to training. There's trainers out there. I'm not gonna name their names, but people know here in Rochester. When it comes to knowledge,
Mhm.
they're way more knowledgeable than I am when it comes to training, like knowing the body, physical, knowing the movements, all that, but they have no personality. They don't know how to connect with a person. So a person, they're so robotic that people don't connect with them and they don't get inspired to continue with the program compared to me. I spend more time and more like mental stuff with people. Like how can I get a person to believe more in themselves? How can I change them more mentally instead of physically first? Because physical change takes way longer compared to getting people to believe in themselves mentally more faster. That's the main problem most people have when it comes to like transforming the body, transforming and their eating habits and all those things.
Do you find that your customers that you have or that come to you, are they already of a mindset like I can do this? I just need to figure out how to do it, but I want to do it. Or do you ever come across any customers that are kind of like down in the gutter and they're trying this, but they don't know if it's going to work out for them or not?
Most of the times, people come in, they said, I want to try it. I want to try it. And a lot of times, I could tell, especially I train a lot of females, I could tell females they don't have a lot of belief how strong they are. So like when I have a client and I say, hey, let's do a dumbbell row, and I'm like, oh, go pick a weight. Watch her pick a weight. I'm like, she's picking a 20-pound dumbbell. She's a 150-pound female. 20-pound dumbbell, she could probably curl that weight if she really tried to. So I start as soon as she grabs the weight, I'm like, okay, grab a 35. And you could see on her face, she's shocked. She's like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to lift 35. Then once she gets going, she gets 12 reps. And she's like, and you could see that. What's awesome part about that is like when you see the face, you see the change, like belief. I start believing in themselves. Oh, I'm strong. I'm not as weak as I thought. Oh, this is not as bad as I thought. Oh, I could do this for longer. Like Michaela, she was here earlier. She's an example. She didn't want to work out. Her mom tried to convince her to work out. She's my client. Tried to convince her to work out for a year. She signed up, and same thing. She thought she's gonna be hurting all the time. She thought she's gonna be so weak, embarrassing. But it's all in the mindset. She hasn't tried it. Oh, this is new for her. So when somebody shows them the way and how strong they are, they start to believe in themselves, and they come back more. The main thing as a trainer, this advice I'm gonna give to other trainers: the goal when a client comes to you, the goal is not to beat them up. The client must leave this place with either feeling stronger, feeling more confident, or feeling accomplished, like they accomplished something, not tired and beat up. If you want to be tired and beat up, you could, get on a treadmill and run. Doesn't take a trainer for you to tell you what to do to feel tired and beat up.
Yeah, definitely. So when new people, let's say somebody who hasn't exercised at all in their life, they come in, what is your kind of routine for them?
So when a person never exercised before, the main thing is just showing them how to move the weight properly so they don't hurt themselves. Proper way to set up, proper way to control the core, proper way to breathe during a set, how long to take breaks between sets, the intensity to push at to see results, because intensity is very important. Like moving the weight is important, but intent of it is also important. So those things that usually I focus on. So if a client comes in, we usually do like a full body workout, because you don't need to train, let's say, back for an hour, because they need maybe when a person just starts in the beginning, 2 exercises for a muscle group, and it's gonna be shot because it's never done it before. And eventually the volume goes up of training, but in the beginning I'll just do like full body just to assess where they at, teach them everything, make sure they're moving the weight properly, and again they leave a little bit more confident that they could do this for longer period of time.
And then somebody intermediate, let's say they worked out kind of on and off here and there. What do you do for them?
For that is now you gotta show them that intensity it takes to get progress. Because usually people that intermediate, they come here, they've been doing it for a little bit, but they haven't done it to a point to see results, to push themselves to the next level where they see the results. You know what I mean? So they haven't pushed that. They don't understand what's required to get to the next step. So my goal is to show them, hey, listen, this is what it's going to require for you to go to the next level. So this is where time where I show them, hey, listen, you're doing let's say a chest press with 40 pounds. You've been doing the chest press 40 pounds for the last 3 months. How do you expect progression? So my goal is to show them, hey, let's do 50 pounds for 8 reps. Let your body adjust to 50 pounds. And then you could go, 10 reps, 12 reps, and then you can move up to 60. My goal is to show them how to progress from intermediate to more like advanced lifter.
Do you find, and obviously in your gym you're giving advice and so on and coaching, so maybe you don't find it here, but do you find it out there where people kind of work out on their own and they hit a plateau, and it's because they're doing the same reps, same amount of reps, and same weight, like all the
Absolutely.
time? They're like, well, I plateaued.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The plateau, they kind of mentally plateaued, not physically.
Okay.
They they do same routine, same weight over and over again. The diet doesn't change much, if even if it has a base, even if it has like some kind of structure, because most people they're intermediate, they don't have a structured diet, you know. So next thing you check is the diet. Say, hey, does your diet support your lifting? Because you can't get stronger, and make progress if there's no control in the diet. There's so much you could do just by willing your body to change. You know, Eventually you need nutrition change too. But main thing is, like I spoke before, is the belief. You know, People don't think they're strong as they are, so they won't challenge themselves to go to that next level of pain, because training and seeing like progress where it's like, not just average person, kind of works out progress, but like, wow, that person actually works out. You have to go through some kind of pain and discomfort. A lot of times people stop short of that, especially when they work out by themselves. I have clients all the time tell me, if you weren't here, I would have stopped like the 8th rep instead of doing 15. I'm like, yeah, that's why you're here. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I've experienced it myself. It's
Yeah.
like when I'm working by myself,
But it's
it's like
also
it's just me. It's
it's
like,
human nature. Also myself. Let's say I'm training by myself, even though I train sometimes with friends, Josh. I train with even my wife. When I train with my wife, even I still try to push myself a little bit more because I see somebody's watching me. So I want to lead by example or show them the intensity it takes to push to the next level. When nobody's watching, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll slack 2 more reps. It's just how it is. It's not almost like you don't even think about it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, you kind of regress to human nature.
Human
Um,
nature of comfort. We love comfort.
yeah.
And when it comes to weightlifting, you force discomfort on yourself. You know?
Yeah. So there are different kinds of weightlifting. Like there's like supersets. There's, what I'm used to is like way back when I was in like high school and beginning of college, was like you pick whatever body part you're doing, you do 3 sets of it, 12 reps or whatever, 3 sets, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for me personally, I'm kind of like stuck in that. But there's like so much more out there right now. Like, can you elaborate a little bit more on the different type of weightlifting?
Yeah. So weightlifting is this similar, very similar. It's just when it comes to styles, it's just how you want to get there. At the end of the day, the only thing your body knows is stress. Now, how you want to deliver that stress in your body, that's where techniques come in play. You know, I personally like when I train with clients and you have an hour, I do a lot of supersets where you have one exercise, no break, then you go right to an exercise, then you get a short break, then you repeat that 3 or 4 times. The reason for that is that when a client is with me for only an hour, we could get more volume in short amount of time. You know, so that's called superset. It's like, let's say we do a chest press, then you superset without break. You know, you set the weight down, go and do bicep curls, right? One is a push movement, so it's working more of push muscles, which is chest, a little bit tricep, shoulder. The other one's a pull, you know, which is a bicep, which they're not same exercises, which you could superset and kill two birds with one stone, pretty much, you know. Then there's intensity sets, you know. Once a person gets more advanced, and let's say they get used to doing 8 reps, let's say a chest press, again, talking about chest press, 8 reps for, 60 pounds, they fatigue 8 reps. To increase more of intensity of the workout, we'll do a drop set. You drop 30% of the weight without a break, you go again, do as many reps as you can, then you drop the weight again by 30%, do as many reps as you can. You deliver way more stress in the body without breaking the form or taking too long of a break where your body gets rest, you know. There's supersets, drop sets, there's giant sets where you do, let's say, 5 exercises in the circuit. They're like almost like smaller supersets. And that's another way to deliver stress. That's for somebody that, say, is short on time, you know. So based on everybody's goals, you adapt the program for them, you know, and based on their time too. You know, so that's some of the things you could do. There's straight sets, the way you were talking about. You do, you know, one muscle group. You do 3 sets, 3 exercises. You move on to another muscle group. You know, but there's just so many ways of doing it when it comes to getting there. It's just which one do you prefer? You know, how much time do you have for the program, and based on that, you adjust what you do.
Is there one like better for beginners versus others? And like
The
for
beginners, you want to
intermediate?
keep the beginners, you want to keep it as simple as possible, and you just do the straight sets. So you, let's say, if you're just starting up, let's say somebody just starting out with me, and they said they want to train 3 days a week, and I got an hour at the gym. So my recommendation would be Monday you would do chest, shoulders, triceps, 3 exercises of chest, 2 exercises of shoulders, 2 exercises of triceps. Okay, and then on Wednesday he would do legs and core. All right, 3 exercises of quads, 2 exercises of hamstrings, and then calves and some abs. And then on Friday he would do, let's say, back, arms. Okay, 3 exercises of big body groups. So back exercises, maybe 2 pull downs, 1 row, or 2 rows, 1 pull down. Switch it up every other week. Then you have 2 exercises for biceps, 2 for triceps, and you're good. So that'll be kind of my split for a beginner, you know. And then you repeat the cycle after 3 days or 2 days of rest.
Do you throw in any cardio in that?
Yeah, depends again. Depends on the goal. Depends on the goal. If you're good, somebody said, "Hey, my goal is to lose body fat. I want to lose, let's say, 15 pounds in a week, and I have 3 days of training, and I go for 3 days of training, and the rest I could do cardio." So I also prescribe them cardio.
15 pounds in a week?
50 pounds in a month.
A month.
A
Okay.
month. You know, it's possible. You know, so that depends. The goal and how much you want to lose will determine how much work you have to do. The higher the goal, the more work you have to do. You know, when it comes to a cardio, you got 2 choices. When it comes to fat loss, we either increase the cardio or we lower the calories. You have 2 choices. Like, hey, if you don't have a big appetite, we're just gonna lower the calories. But if you're always hungry, we're gonna have to keep the calories higher, because we don't want you to binge. We don't want you to like stick to the diet for 2 days and then go off rails. We're gonna increase your movement. So you have 2 choices. You can't, just say, hey, listen, I'm gonna, eat more calories and do less cardio if I want to lose fat. No, maybe you gotta change your goals.
Yeah.
So everything is based on somebody's goals. When it comes to training, the program you're supposed to do.
Yeah. It's almost like a math equation.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Whatever
is.
you want to equal to,
It is.
you got to, more
Yeah.
of this, less of that, or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
All it is math.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about it. Is like it's almost like 100% guaranteed investment.
Yeah.
Because if you get the math right, and you're willing to do the work, the results are 100% guaranteed. You know, if the results are not there, it just means you're not doing the work, or the math is completely wrong. And most of the time, it's people don't do the work.
Why do you think that is? Like, why do people not do the work? Obviously, they want a better body,
It's hard.
but why don't they do the work?
It's hard. It's not easy.
So it's just hard
It's
work.
hard. It's hard. It's um, it's hard to say no to pleasures, you know, and comfort.
Yeah.
Structure is hard. That's why you have a lot of very little population walk with a six pack, or a body where they like take their shirt off and like, yo, I'm proud of that, you know, because it's difficult. It's not easy, but it gets so much easier because once you reach the result and you see where where your body looks like, you understand it's worth the goal. There's like, for me, I've been doing it for a while. Obviously, I'm a coach. I'm a trainer. Got to lead by example. So it's one motivation from me. But the way I feel and the way I look, there's no cake, there's no pizza, there's no food that would give me that much pleasure or that feeling, you know. And at the end of the day, food, all the food lasts for like 15 minutes max if you take your time eating it,
Yeah.
you know. So that's why a lot of people don't have results. It's just pretty much is just like, um, it's not because they don't know what to do. Is a lot of times they don't have either accountability or big enough desire to accomplish it. You know?
Yeah. Do you find anybody while you're coaching here? I don't know if they work out elsewhere,
Yeah.
but do people, how many people actually stick to what you kind of teach them? How many people don't stick? And the ones that don't stick to it, you know, what's the reasoning for not sticking to it? What's the reasoning for sticking to it that they have?
Um, a lot. What we have here, I have people that work out here and then they work out on by themselves. Um, the reason people usually stick to something is because they got results. And like I said, they saw results, so that they don't want to go back. You know, the reason some people don't stick to it is because they didn't get there yet. They're like kind of almost there, you know, and the body kind of looks nice, you know, so they look better than their friends, but they're still not there. So it's easy to go back. And when I say go back, it's just every week a habit changes. You know, maybe one week they're not tracking their food. Next week, you know, they say, oh, I'm going to just track my protein to make it easier. Okay, next week I'm just gonna track 2 days a week, and before you know it, those small little like deviation from a program or from what got you there, and being not being around somebody who will keep you accountable. Before you know it, like you look in the mirror, how the heck did I end up here again? You know,
Yeah.
and that happens a lot. You know,
What are some of those non-workout activities that people should do to help them lose weight or maintain the body they want?
the best is walking. Walking. We as soon as a client starts with us, we recommend them 10,000 steps of movement. It's not cardio. We don't consider walking as cardio. It's just movement. It's so good for you because the reason we say walking is because first, everybody could do it. You know. Second of all, it doesn't increase your appetite compared to a cardio. Cardio, if you get on a treadmill, you start pushing yourself, you're gonna get a little bit hungrier. Compared to you go walk in the park, it's good for your mental state because you're out in nature. You go for a walk. You don't feel like you did cardio, so you're not gonna start rewarding yourself with food. You know, compared to, let's say you took an hour and you went to a class where it's like a boot camp class. You work so hard for that an hour, and mentally, human nature, like, oh, I gotta reward myself. Even though you're rewarding yourself with, let's say, a healthy protein shake, it's still calories.
Yeah.
You know, and you, let's say, go to a smoothie shop and you get 300 calories of a protein shake, you didn't burn 300 calories in that boot camp. You may burn like 200, so now you're in caloric surplus when you're thinking you should be losing weight bet you go for a walk for an hour and a half, you burn maybe 200 calories, maybe less calories, but you don't have that mental thing like you did something extra to earn more food, you know? So you more likely not eat extra snack or get a protein shake, you know? So that's why I say walking is probably the best activity you could add to
Yeah,
your
but
day.
other than like physical activities, you mentioned like counting calories, like those type of activities.
Oh,
What are what
yeah,
are what are
habits.
those
Like
type of?
habits, I would say count your calories. Count your calories. Just keeping track of the food that goes in your mouth, you know? So you're more conscious of what you put in your mouth because you got to track it, you know, instead of mindlessly eating,
Yeah,
you know. And I'm guilty myself and my son. If I didn't track, if he didn't finish some food, I put it in my mouth. Uh, I see, you know, he didn't finish that, a candy bar or something like that, I'll put it in my mouth. I see a piece of candy, but now you got to track, like, I don't feel like tracking that, you know, the smaller thing. So you're not going to consume it, you know? And it also gives you the value of calories. You start to understand more. Oh, wow, you know, avocado is healthy for me, but 40 grams is 70 calories, and you get just a little bit like that. Maybe I'll skip avocado and I'll get something else. And you start to understand calories in, calories out, how much each uh, food values. You know what I mean? So that's a great habit. If you anybody that just wants to lose weight and you watch this podcast, you can't afford a trainer, just start counting your calories. You will by default eat less because you will start to when you plug in the Starbucks drink that you get every day and you see this 250 calories, you'll be like, whoa, maybe I'm not gonna get that. And if you don't get that, let's say just that alone, 250 calories throughout 7 days a week, in a month you lose 2.5 pounds of just pure body fat. Just by that one habit of tracking, you know, because you start to see the calories.
yeah. That's really good. Um, I think you even mentioned that last time. My wife started doing that, and she started losing weight. I mean, she
Yeah,
she works out just a little bit, like every week,
yeah,
a few days, but she was working out before that too, and just counting calories, like you mentioned. Now she's more selective in what she's eating.
yeah.
We just got to apply it too.
Yeah,
I got to
apply it
apply it.
too. And then the second tip is if you don't want to eat don't want to track calories, increase your protein. Find the foods that are high in protein and eat those foods more because that will force you to eat less calories.
And eat them first.
Eat them first on a plate. Finish your protein first. Again, don't get into a mindset when you that don't get to a mindset you got to finish the whole plate. Finish your protein first, and then sit there, drink a glass of water. Am I still hungry? If you're not hungry, don't force that food in. Leave it. Now, as long as you finish your protein, because protein is the main essential thing. Keeps you full, repairs your muscle, gives you energy, whatever your body doesn't use for repairing or building, your body's going to use for energy. So it's a great macronutrient as far as fat loss. But also, what people don't know is that, let's say I eat 500 calories of protein only and 500 calories of carbohydrates only. The energy your body is going to use to process protein, it's going to use more energy to process the protein. So the calories that you're eating is not going to be 500 calories. There will be maybe like 400, 420 calories. Compared to carbohydrates, if you eat only carbohydrates, 400 calories, your body is going to process that very easy because it doesn't require any energy to process carbohydrates. So on, let's say, 2,000 calorie diet, when a person eats way more protein than carbohydrates, the same person will lose more weight and those calories.
What else about nutrition that people usually don't know, and that you would, give
There's
suggestions or advice about?
there's no such thing as bad food. I usually tell my clients every food should be dependent on your goal. Like for example, let me say whole eggs and avocados. They're great healthy foods when you think about it, right? But they're very caloric dense. So if you are a female and you're trying to lose weight, and your breakfast is, give you an example, three whole eggs, and half an avocado, and slice of toast, you're already almost 600 calories deep. You're already halfway through your calories. Compared to if you just had, let's say, 5 egg whites, you know, cut off the avocado and replaced it with 2 slices of toast, you'd be in 250 calories. So you'd be full, but you have lots more calories left over for a day. So always look at food as in like how many calories are there when it comes to your goal, when it comes to fat loss. Because if you are overweight and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna eat only thing that's healthy, but you're not sure how many calories are in healthy food, you're gonna have a hard time losing weight because you'll be eating things like that people told you, like peanut butter. Eat peanut butter. Peanut butter is horrible for you when it comes to fat loss.
What's the reason behind that?
It's so caloric dense. 2 tablespoons, which people never measure on a scale, which is very little. I mean, you actually put 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or almond butter on a scale, and whatever you think 2 tablespoons are, it's probably 3 or 4, because it's not leveled off. When you measure in grams, so you're eating, let's say, 300 calories in just peanut butter. It's not very filling, and it's not very much, you know. So things like that people don't understand is that what we've been told is like peanut butter is healthy, eat your peanuts is good snack. Peanuts are not a good snack. Good snack would be like celery, you know maybe some kind of vegetable, apple, berries, things like that. Not like nuts, not something that's high in fat and calories.
What about supplements like whey protein or whatever other proteins and
Yeah.
stuff like that? Like when should somebody use it? When should they not use it? And what kind should they use? Like what's the difference between all the different ones out there?
So let's say we touch base on whey protein. Whey protein is just another way to add protein to your diet. If you could get it through food, don't use whey protein. If you need something quick, whey protein is for us to supplement your diet. That's why it's called supplement. It's not the main thing. Don't make protein powder your main thing of protein source. There's way better sources of protein than whey protein powder. Because you know exactly what you're getting. When you're getting whey protein, even though I use it on a daily basis, I understand that I have to just believe what the label says. When it comes to chicken breast, I know it's a chicken breast. So I know I'm getting this many grams of protein in that chicken breast. Compared to whey protein, yeah, it says 50 grams of protein if I get 2 scoops in there. Is it 50? Who knows? But it's great for people that, let's say, post-workout, they're having a hard time reaching 150 grams of protein, let's say a female, and you want to add a scoop of protein there into your oatmeal, go for it. It's good because it helps you reach that protein goal faster. Next supplement I usually tell people to take is fish oil. Fish oil, because a lot of times people don't eat enough healthy fats to support their heart health, skin, hair, eyes, and that's where omega-3s come into play. So multivitamins are probably great because a lot of times when you think about people that are like having trouble with weight, they probably don't eat enough vegetables, and that's where most vitamins are in, vegetables and fruits. So say multivitamin, suggest you just make sure you cover all the bases when it comes to your nutrition. So usually when it comes to like supplements, I give people 3-4 supplements. Whey protein, because it's gonna help you reach your protein goal faster. Creatine, that's one thing that people are kind of starting to get on board more. It's the most studied supplement that has ever been studied for, and there's so much benefits for it that you should probably take it. Doesn't matter if you're lifting or not. If you're lifting, it's gonna help you recover faster. It's gonna help you train harder because you'll be able to increase how many reps you're doing. It's gonna help you recover fast, like I said, but also it's gonna help you function better mentally, because they did a study and they actually been giving people with Alzheimer's creatine 5 grams a day, and it showed like significant decrease in digression of some of these Alzheimer's. So it's very good for cognitive health. So creatine, fish oil, and multivitamin, that's all you need to spend money on supplements. If you're spending more money on supplements than your groceries, you're doing it wrong. Because people like bodybuilders that you see fit use very little supplements.
So be more natural with
Yeah.
natural food.
Yeah, natural food. The supplements industry is made not for bodybuilders and not for people that are fit. They're made for people that want to get fit. You know, it's just sell the person because that's the only person that will kind of buy it, because they don't know better yet. So they will spend, you know, $100 on an HMB. I mean, I've done it because they didn't know. You know, I'll spend. Oh, this bodybuilder's taking it. And then you talk to that body in the expo, it goes, bro, I'm, they're paying me to say that. They put me on a label. They took a picture. They use whatever they want with the picture. You know, I don't take any of this stuff.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. What do you think of the fad of cold plunge?
Cold plunge, it's good. It's good, but only if you're covering everything else. If you're eating healthy, training really hard, sleeping, having, you know, your business, your mental stuff all cleared out, then cold plunge is gonna help you a little bit more. It's like a supplement, but don't be cold plunging or talking about posting cold plunging videos of you when you're drinking beer, you know, 3 times a week, even 3 times a week, drinking alcohol, have no idea what's going in your body when it comes to like protein, carbs, and fats, not training that hard. You're just doing it for social media if you just cold plunge. But if you are covering all the bases and then adding cold plunge, adding sauna, adding those things, it'll benefit you, you know. But it should not be the main thing.
Yeah. Is it more like some people use it more for mental? They feel like first thing in the morning, when they like kind of
Yeah, get
put
the
their,
rush. Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say if you're doing it for that reason, sure, you could do it, but I think you should just start with a cold shower. See if you can handle just cold shower. Get in there, you know, get in the cold shower, sit there, sit there for 5 minutes or however long it takes to brush your teeth. If you could just handle that, because cold plunge is like you get in there and you get out. Like for me, the showers I do every morning, like I'll get in hot, I make it cold, I'll suffer for a little bit. When the suffering is over, I make it hot, then make it cold again, start suffering again. You know, I like it more. But cold plunge is it's good for people. I mean, people say the anxiety drops, the depression drops a little bit. I think the reason for that is it makes you super present. When you jump into that cold water, you're not thinking about anything. You know, you're not thinking about your problems. You just sitting there, focusing on breathing, breathe properly, and that's what's missing with most people that are suffering with anxiety and depression. Is they're, either thinking about the future or the past, and never present, never sit there and like be there. So I think that's what cold plunge really helps with people is like for that moment, you actually have to be present and breathing,
yeah,
and be in where you're supposed to be instead of mentally somewhere else, causing you anxiety or causing you depression.
yeah. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. What else with exercise or nutrition that you would want others out there to know?
The main thing about training and exercise and eating healthy, the body is good, the way you look is awesome, but how it changes the way you think is great too. Is That's one thing that people probably don't give enough credit for, or of the benefit of who you become through that. And you will understand it. Like me telling you this, and you probably watch this, and you've never trained, committed yourself for like let's say 16 weeks to a diet training. So you're probably like skeptical about it. But if you go all in when it comes to nutrition, training, and do it for a long period of time, it will change the way you think. It will change who you are, not physically, but mentally. You'll believe in yourself more. You'll be more confident. You will start taking more better risks in other aspects of life because of the confidence you're gonna start to install. Not just like talking about confidence as in you see in the mirror, talking about confidence that you said you do something and then you accomplished it. And you start to believe in yourself, in your word, which is way bigger than physical. Because a lot of times we say, hey, I'm gonna start New Year's resolution, and then 3 weeks go by and you quit. Next time you say, okay, I'm gonna lose this weight for the vacation. 4 weeks went by, you quit. The third time when you guys say, I'm gonna lose this weight or do this thing, I guarantee you're not gonna believe in yourself as much because you lied to yourself already twice. That's just like I'm telling you, twice is probably the small amount. How many times people lie to themselves they're gonna do something and then do it. If that was a relationship that you were having with somebody and that person lied to you that many times, how much trust would you have in that relationship? Not much.
Not much at all. Yeah.
And that's the thing that fitness creates. When you devote yourself for 16 weeks into fitness and like nutrition, is that you build back that trust. You
So
build back.
even if somebody's like was trying to do other things like improving their life and have been failing, they can kind of reset their life by
By
fitness.
fitness. 100%. Yeah. Client earlier was here. She says, you know what? I quit on everything. And they kind of got to me. Like, I'm not an emotional person. She goes, I quit on everything. But since I started this, my life changed because I started to believe myself that I'm not going to quit on everything. Because I quit on everything. Every time I start, she goes, after 4 weeks, I quit. This is the longest I've been without quitting something,
Yeah,
you know? So
it's definitely
there's
great.
evidence there, There's evidence. I hear it every day how much fitness has transformed people physically. It's cool, it's awesome, but it's temporary, We are not gonna get old, but our minds hopefully last longer than our bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. So transitioning more into business,
Sure.
you started coaching people kind of, I don't know, by happenstance or whatever. Like you were working
Yeah.
out yourself, you were trying to become a bodybuilder, and then you kind of, it seemed in my understanding, you kind of stumbled on like giving other people advice, and you're like, why not charge them for this advice,
Yeah, it's exactly
right?
how it happened. Yeah.
And
I always try to be the best I could be for myself, you know? And then that transformed me to like, all right, now people are taking you serious because you know what you're doing. So now you could charge for it. That's
yeah.
pretty much what business became.
So how did you go from then to having your own gym now, like almost like your own practice, right, of coaching? Kind of if you can run us through that.
Some days, honestly, if I told you I had a plan, I'd be lying to you. I just every day I woke up, I'm like, okay, how can I be a better trainer? How can I be a better coach? How can I improve my business? How can I help this person? And then if years of doing that, it kind of almost like a stepping stone, led to this. Then you know, outgrow one gym. You go to the next place, you outgrow that place. Then eventually, you get so much people around you saying, listen, it's kind of like what I described earlier. If somebody keeps saying, hey, try that weight, increase that weight, see if we could do it. I created that circle around me where they say, Ivan, open a gym. Ah, man, I can't. I'll fail. That's no hardest to open a gym. From what I hear people saying, but no, do it. It's gonna be private. Do it. It's gonna be private where you control who comes in, comes out, so you ain't to worry about the hassle. I don't know if I could afford that. No, okay, that's now, but that seed is in your head already, you know. So a couple years go by, the seed is still there. You start thinking about the gym. Where would it be? What would it look like? What would I have? Oh, it'd be cool to have a boxing gym there. It'd be cool to have a spot there. It'd be cool to have a barbershop because I like hair. Even though now I finally have hair back. And then eventually, you have people saying it so many times to you that you start believing it. Hey, listen, okay, let me take a chance on that. Then eventually you got to a point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna build something for myself, and I want to make it almost like repay my clients for their
Belief in you.
belief in me by creating such a cool place, what we call it the culture, you know, where it's like only clients are welcome here, no outside people. You have to have some kind of standard if you want to train here. I have to, because nowadays I'm pretty much booked, so I select who I want to come here. You have to have a fitting culture in order to come here, you know. And that's how it got. Honestly, it's like some days I talk to my wife and Nicole. I'm like, I don't know how I got there, but I did. But the main thing that I want to tell you to get out of this is the focus was never the goal, the end goal, like destination. The focus was always the journey. I was always focused on, I'm gonna wake up today. I'm gonna get the most out of this day that I can. I'm gonna do everything I can to get the most out of the day. Help somebody, advertise myself, never miss. I mean, if you watch me on social media, I have never missed a post. There's days I do not want to post. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to, because every picture that I post, there's some kind of message to it.
Do you post yourself, or do you have like somebody else posting for you?
Most of the stuff I post on my personal page is me, all of it. And then on the business page, it's like half me, and then half I'll send content ideas, and they will like transformation pictures. They will edit it and post it. But my personal page, when it comes to like advertising myself as a brand, it's all me. You know, so every day content, content, content. People don't watch it, you know, that's fine. You know, people watch, but I'm always out there. Because I knew if I just do these kind of things, nobody else gonna be able to do it. You know, I'll beat them just by sheer volume.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you post like that day, or do you schedule ahead?
now there's more planning. No, in the beginning, I just literally throw a shit against the wall. Just content, 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 content. You know, especially when I didn't have as much clients, I just created content, so the time was never wasted. You know, when there's periods of time when I had slow seasons. When the slow season applied, I created content. I wrote a book. You know, one time I used to have like 2 hour period breaks between clients from like 12 till 2. And I remember coming home. I used to live next close to the gym, and as soon as I get home, I get on the computer, I write a book, and I only wrote it for like an hour every single day. In 30 days, I published a book on Amazon. It's called Eating Made Simple. So it gives you a diet plan, it gives you a description of foods, gives you restaurant choices to go to for people that want to keep the diet simple. You know? And I wrote that with my free time. But that book got me more clients because then people start trusting you. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's all about reps. Reps, reps, reps.
Yeah. So now, you mentioned on the last podcast about your kind of morning routine, how you do some work in the beginning
Yep.
before even working out. Has any of that changed? Have you enhanced that in some ways? Like, what is it like?
My morning routine hasn't changed much since opening the place. It's same thing. I'm a creature of habit. Same thing. Get up 4:15. 4:20 the latest. The only thing that has changed is that I used to do cardio at home, but now I come here and do cardio. And the reason for that is that, you know, I think I'm not the only one, but when you live closer to a location, you get in the habit of like, you think the time is in your favor. So I start like showing up close to being late, like at 6 a.m. here or 5:59, and I saw clients beating me, and then after a while it started to irk me. They didn't care. I was here on time, but it started bothering me. So I said, you know what? The only way to prevent that is I'm gonna come here and do my cardio here. So I'm gonna be the first one here. So that's the only thing that changed when it comes to my routine. Is that I come here a little earlier and do cardio here. I'll shower here, and then I make sure I'm never late, because that's nothing bothers me more. It's like when being late. I hate being late.
Yeah. How do you deal with risk these days? Like even opening this up, right? It's a risk.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
how?
risk, but as you get more successful, the risks are not that scary. You know, when you just start up a business or you just starting something and the risk you take, it could literally kill your business. Now, let's just let's say this fails. You know, you have another business already. That's my online business is making more money than this place, way more money. So you have that. When you have that, you could take more risks because you have something to fall back on. But in the beginning, if you only have one egg, you can walk around with that egg, protecting it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's the only thing you have. But if you have many eggs that are, let's say successful, you could afford to lose one of the eggs if you know the other one is be alright. So it's much easier to take risks, which is a lot. That's why you see successful people get more successful because they start taking more risks because they have that security. You know.
What do you see for your brand? Like as far as growing it, scaling it, do you see yourself like having either franchises or branches all over US kind of thing, or are you keeping it local? What are you thinking of that?
I want to keep my IMS Fitness like in person, local, but I want to build the IMS Fitness, the online coaching, like worldwide. That's my 2025 goal, is expand my online presence when it comes to online coaching, and not just online coaching people to lose weight. I want to get into a position where I coach other people to have similar success to what I'm having. Because what I found out recently is that the more you want others to win, the more you win. And I want other people to have this kind of life through fitness, and it could, it's very possible for anybody as long as you have desire. When I first got into this like industry or business, the goals that I have were very, very selfish. I wanted a nice house. I wanted to go out to dinner without worrying about money. I wanted to take vacation. I want a nice car, a couple cars. Those were selfish goals. Those goals now, it's like I have a McLaren in my car in my garage. I go past it. Before I'd be like dreaming about it, but now I'm just walking past it, every day. Like not even better than I. Like almost, do I care about it? Yeah, it's still cool. But now my goal is like I want to see Josh, my other trainer, have this kind of life in 3 years. Him having a nice car, a nice house, saying, "Hey, listen, the reason I'm here is because Ivan guided me here." My other trainer, that came from Ukraine, he's only been here for a year and a half. Now speaks English good. You know, almost has a full schedule of clients. Making a living doing what he likes. I want him to have that kind of life. So now my goals are more: how can I give back to other people? Yes, they're helping me be more successful, but I want them to be more successful. I want them to make, you know, the money where they, you know, are super happy with like the way I am.
Are you creating some kind of like online courses or some kind of
It's in
online
works.
programs?
Yes, it's in works right now.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find the right, like a platform where you could coach people, you know, because like coaching through emails and stuff like that, I have a couple clients that I'm coaching that. It's just not efficient way of doing it compared to I want to find some kind of app. So if anybody has it or knows it, that you have an app where you connect people like say like Facebook, but it's your clients, but it's coaching them how to become a coach.
Something that you can record and they can
Yeah,
rewatch or whatever, something
watch it.
like
Yeah,
that. That would be good.
yeah,
There's got to be a
yeah.
platform out there like that.
Sure. So I try to keep my eye out for that.
What else with your business that you're kind of focusing on in 2024 and 25?
As I said, I want to increase the online. So that's I think the main priority. I want to build up the trainers, make sure they fully packed, fully running. But also I want to step away from training, so they could take over, and me more like coaching them. You know, that's could be the next step, which should be the hardest step because I like to control everything. You know, and then you just never know. Like last year, if we were sitting down at the same time last year, I didn't plan on having all this. You know, and once this is like fully running, I'm sure I'm gonna sit down and be like, okay, what's next? Because like I'll get bored, you know. I
Yeah.
like I like to wake up in the morning and having another purpose, because like when we were building this place, the first like last January, not January, like, was it? Yeah, December, January. Maybe this was coming up. That was the most exciting times of my life. It was stressful, but every morning I wake up like, let's go, you know. And then when I start feeling like I'm getting bored and I don't have that spark in the morning when I get up, I'm gonna start something else. Something will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's different kinds of gyms out there, right? There's like strength gyms. There's like,
CrossFit, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
CrossFit. There's like the LA Fitness or whatever other ones. What are the kind of the pluses and minuses of each one that you could comment on?
So this, what I see is like they have public gyms, which is like LA Fitness, Sporta. We have CrossFit gyms. We have boot camp gyms. We have private gyms like this. You know, each one has its ups and the benefits. The only disadvantage of a private gym is the cost, because not everybody could afford it, or should I say, not everybody's thinks it's important enough of investment. Because when you calculate everybody's money, everybody could afford it if they really wanted to. You know,
You mean like the customers?
yeah, yeah. If they budgeted properly and it was that important to them, most people they go to LA Fitness and these lower budget gyms could probably afford private gyms.
Mhm.
But that's the cost is one thing, you know. So this was right here. Private gym is, let's say, the top tier because you have privacy, you have everything's customized for you, you have guaranteed pretty much results. The other place you have, let's say you go to LA Fitness, you have around similar equipment, but no privacy, no privacy, and you don't have any guidance. No, let's say CrossFit gym, you have the community culture. The CrossFit culture is very tight. So if you're somebody that's looking for a community for friendships, CrossFit is the place to go. You know, if you're somebody that really can't afford a lot of money, but you want somebody to train you, quote unquote, because they're not really trainers. Boot camp classes, those that are 30 minutes. You have somebody yell at you, tell you put you on a treadmill, increase the speed, get you tired, throw some balls against the floor, throw some dumbbells in the air. You feel tired, but at the end of the 30 minutes, you feel like you accomplished something. And those are the other choices. As you could tell, I'm not a fan of the boot camp because it's not very structured. A lot of times people get hurt from there and they don't learn anything from it, you know? They do, maybe, okay, they learn discipline of showing up, you know, but not to extent where they could go away from the gym and do it forever by themselves.
It's a short-term thing, it
Sure,
seems.
sure thing. Yeah. If you're somebody that has no idea where to start, you know, and you can't afford anything, you go there, you know. But you gotta have the intelligence to understand it's not for everything.
Yeah. If somebody is like looking to start a gym, what suggestions would you tell them?
It's gonna take more money than you think, you know. If you are planning on starting a gym, make sure you already have a a busy schedule. A gym is not gonna get you more clients. Now make sure you already have a foundation when it comes to business. Don't open a business and thinking that, hey, I'm gonna open a gym and then I'm gonna get my customers. You know, because it's expensive and you are not guaranteed the customers will come there just because of the gym. Make sure you create your brand first, then open a gym. Unless you're buying a franchise, you know.
So, what are some lessons that you learned kind of throughout your business career? Things that maybe you failed and you recovered from it?
The main thing I learned when it comes to like, business wise is communication. You know, communication skills. That's the main thing. Sales. I learned a lot. You know, I don't think I see anything as like I failed at because everything that I didn't do good, I had an opportunity to learn from. You know, in the beginning when I was young, I was very hot-headed when it comes to like clients. You know, showing up late, not understanding. I was like, you know, sergeant. But then when you have a child, you start to understand people with parents that not 100% everything you control. So if you're late 10 minutes because your kid had you know, a fit, you don't want a trainer yelling at you also because you're already having a bad day. You know? So I start to really understand how to read people better. You know, do I still give people, I know, structure? Hey, listen, you need to be on time, but the way I word it is way different now compared to 6 years ago. You know, and my clients tell me that's the biggest change they see in me is like, you're very, very patient now. Before you had like trigger, like as soon as something goes wrong, flip off. You know, so young, young, you don't have experience in life. You know, um, sales too. You know, I started before. People come to me and be like, "Hey, Ivan, I want to train with you, but I could only afford $300 for 5 days a week. Would you take it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." With that, what you're gonna get is like, yeah, you made $300, for that time, but now you devalued your product, you know, and you got a not so great customer because people that try to cheap you out on the price most likely are not the best client. People that pay more will value your product or your service way more than a person that pays less. So those are the things. If you're a trainer and you watch this, you're like, I'm gonna charge less than what Ivan charges because I want, you know, more business. You will get more business, but you're not gonna get my clients. You're gonna get the bottom pool clients, and you're not gonna have a good time with that. So that's another thing that I learned is like don't lower your value, just because you want to like almost like desperate for a client.
What other things you learned related to sales? Like selling, you mean, or sales, just like the example you mentioned?
Yeah, similar example like that. Also selling wise is like, what I learned from it is like, don't try to be salesy. Like don't try to sell. Just be honest. Just be exact honest. If somebody just says, "Hey, listen, this is my goal of losing this much weight, this that," people appreciate you telling me, "Hey, listen, it's not gonna take you this long. It's gonna take you this long. It's gonna take a lot longer." You know. Sometimes I was scared. It's like, "Oh yeah, okay, you could lose 20 pounds in a month." You know. Yeah, but then a client signs up with you and you didn't deliver 20 pounds. Now they're disappointed. Compared to saying, "Hey, listen, you're gonna lose 20 pounds, but it's not gonna take you a month. It's gonna take 3 months." And guess what? The client's still gonna sign up with you, but now he's not gonna only stay with 3 months. He's gonna stay with you for a longer period of time because you will lose the weight in 3 months. Now they believe in you, so you gotta stay for a long period of time. So always be honest of what you're delivering when it comes to your service. You know, be 100% honest. Hey, listen, this is what I could be. Don't try to upsell so much and can't deliver. Rather do the opposite. You know,
Under
under
promise, over deliver.
over deliver. That's another thing is that people need to understand in this kind of business is you definitely want to undersell and over deliver when it comes to your result.
What have you learned about marketing within the business?
And marketing is you always got to be out there. People post like one thing, on social media, and they get no likes or no followers or no comments. Next day they disappear. You gotta understand, social media is so fast. You know, people might not even seen your stuff. The right person might not have seen your stuff yet. So if you just posted, one thing, and then you don't post for not 3 days, you just miss 3 days an opportunity of somebody might see that stuff. So if you're somebody in social media that's like a trainer or any business that they're using social media to get business, post every single day. So make sure quantity is always out there. Quantity, quantity, quantity. Once you get to a point where you got so good, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get better by stuff you post, by feedback of your marketing. So let's say you post and people don't like certain kind of, you know, posts that you make, and then you see something that people like. Well, people like that. Post more of that. So it's the best way to get feedback. You get better by just reps. At the end of the day, it's like marketing, sales, training. It's all about reps. Putting in those reps over and over again. And there's days it's not that fun, not that entertaining, but you just put in those reps.
It's like discipline and consistency.
Yeah, same thing. No, it's all at the end of the day, no matter what, discipline and consistency is required for everything. Even in relationships,
Yeah.
everything.
What else would you want to share about your business or about business in general?
So I'm gonna talk about my business and what makes, us, my business so like unique from what I hear from clients, not just from my what I think is from feedback. You know, we're very hands on. I'm very result driven. Your money doesn't mean anything to me unless I see progress. Because once you come here and you say, "Hey, I train with Ivan, and I've been training with him 6 months," and you don't see there's no change in you, that's my name. You know, that's my name to talk about. So we're very result driven. We're very accountability based. We keep you accountable. We provide you with every single tool possible for you to be successful. You know, what you decide to do with those tools is really up to you. But we will not stop providing you with the tools just because, let's say, the client is not does not use them properly. We'll keep giving you. We're gonna keep teaching you diet. We're gonna keep teaching you proper form. We're gonna keep you tell you to take a day off when you need to take a day off. We're gonna tell you the hard truth. Because we are at the point that my business at the point right now is that like, you know, if I tell the truth, client appreciates it because I have not to lose. There's no like desperation for me of to gain another client. I'm okay with just having what I have now, you know. So I could take those kind of more like let's say risks of being more honest with people. People, what I found is they appreciate it way more, you know. And like I said before, the culture is private, so every person that comes here, they will have to have a trainer. They will have to have a coach, so they don't get hurt. They have a program. Everybody, we tell them what to do. They come out of this place knowing that as long as they show up here, the work's gonna get done. Progress will be made. You know, so that's what I think separates us from other trainers. From what I hear, is the passion we have and the really like drive for a result.
And where can people find you?
So people, oh, if you can't find me, then then you're not looking. Website, ivisfitness.com, social media at ivisfitness, business page at Ivan's Fitness Training. We have a supplement line, the One Nutrition, the culture, if you want to see what the gym is all about, what we provide, what we give there, go to the culture rock on Instagram or on the website, and you can find out all the information. But if you want to know the fastest way to contact or get more information, just contact me at Ivan's Fitness. And when it comes to like diets, nutrition, training, just overall like better lifestyle and better life and growth, I just say just follow me. Follow me on Instagram because every single post, like I said, I post is with intention. Even if I post a shirtless picture of me and you are intelligent enough to read the caption, you'll get something out of it. Whether it's a diet tip, whether it's life advice, whether it's training advice, and sometimes even if I do say something that's more like on triggering side, understand that anything I post is not to, I don't know, trigger somebody. Most of the things I post when it comes to that kind of like almost like a on the line of being offensive is more towards me. It's to keep me. I said it. I'm not sure if I said it last time on the podcast.
Yeah, you did.
Most of the stuff that I post, people that I understand that is to keep me accountable. Because when I say it on social media and I post it out there, I'm not gonna go and do the opposite. Because I hate that feeling of being that kind of person. You know, without integrity of what he says. So most stuff you get offended by is first of all it's probably because it's something to do with you, and it's probably you know putting some salt on the wound. But understand it's most of the stuff is directed towards me. It's to keep me accountable, and if it helps you, at the end, awesome.
Yeah. So usually at the end I ask one more question, and
Yeah.
that is, what does the world need more of today?
That's an awesome question because actually I was thinking about that. And I was gonna make a blog post. And people think they need to do this amazing things in order to change the world. Honestly, to change the world, you just gotta really just change what you do on every day, and just like the small things, and then just create a higher standard for yourself, you know. And I'm gonna give you kind of example. And let's say you go to the bathroom, right? Go to the bathroom, you see pee all over the toilet seat. What do you do? Do you just continue peeing there, or do you wipe it off for the next person and walk away? Okay, that's one thing. You go outside, you see a water bottle outside somebody else's business. Empty water bottle just sitting there. Do you pick it up, throw it in the trash? Or you just walk by and say, it's not my problem? Those smaller things, if you just start changing every single day, and we all start changing that, how can the world not get better?
Yeah, definitely.
Small little thing, standards. Just increase the standards where you keep yourself to, you will change the world. If you're not gonna change the world, at least you're in control of what you can do. It's not about like sending millions of dollars to other places, not this, not that. We're not in short of money. We can always print more money. It's smaller actions, smaller standards. If you start changing that, you change the world.
Yeah. Definitely great advice there.
Thank you.
And practical just for
Yeah.
everything.
Every day.
You can do it.
Especially if you're a young
Anybody
kid.
can do it.
Especially if you're a young kid. You do that, somebody's gonna notice you.
Yeah.
If a bird craps on your car and you drive for a week long without wiping it down, I mean, you should not even think about changing the world. You should be wiping that car off. Because how does that not bother you? Like I see that all the time. Like people driving with bird shit on it. I'm like, You just came back. I saw the car last week, and you still got bird shit on it. It's already dried. How does that not bother you? You know?
Yeah.
But it's like if you do, how you do something small like that is how you're gonna do larger things in life. You know, because you're gonna have like the standard for yourself. You know, that you keep yourself to. You know, because whatever standard you keep yourself to is the standard that people are gonna keep you up to also. You know,
So set a standard for yourself.
yeah, high. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Ivan, thank you again for
pleasure.
doing the podcast here, and
Yeah.
this time right at your place. So
Yeah,
it's been fun.
yeah.
Definitely.
I like it in person way more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's much better in person.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully next time I come to North Carolina.
Yeah, come on over. Come to Charlotte. It's a bigger city.
Yeah, warmer.
More things to look at and
For
stuff.
sure, for sure.
So thank
Awesome. My pleasure.
you. Yep.